Hey there, welcome to VCode's 100 Days of Coding Challenge. Today is day 29 and let's see the question number 1. So the question is, write a Java program that reverses an array of integers. You will be given an array and your task is to reverse the elements of the array in place. So the function description is void, which is the return type. This is the name of the method and the input is an array itself. The input format must be an integer array ARR of length given between 1 and 1000. Each element is an integer value. And the output format, so this is the important one. We need to modify the input array ARR in place to reverse its elements. So we have been given the sample input of an array ARR and the array is reversed itself. So the output is also the same array which is in a reversed format. So the main focus in this question is that we shouldn't create a new array and then place the elements in the reverse, which is a traditional method of doing. So you will create a new array and then we will iterate from the last element and then we will place the values one by one. So that is not, this is not the case. So here we need to we need to modify the existing array itself and then print it. So how do we do that? So let's find out the approach to it. So I have taken a sample array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the output must be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So it will be easy. That's why I've taken that array. So now, so this is the method which I am saying. So we have 1 here and then 6 here. So what should happen? The first element will go to the last and the last element must come to the first. So these both must swap with each other. And the same for the second and last second element. These both must be reversed. And same for these and any element in between also. So this is the basic logic where we need to swap the elements. So here we can use 2 pointers. So I'll write here. So let this be I and let this be J. So firstly, I will be at the first index. So I is equal to 0. I mean at the first element. And the J must be at the last element. So the last index is array.length minus 1. And what we will do is, we will start iterating the I from the start and the J from the back. So the first element I and the last element J will be swapped. So what is the first output now? So the first output is 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Immediately after swapping, the I value will be incremented. So now the I value is here and the J value is decremented. So J is here. So they are nothing but the indexes. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if in the first case the I value is 0, now it is I is 1. And previously J was 5, now J is 4. So what must be swapped? So here this and this must be swapped. So what is the next step? So after this we get is 6, 5, 3, 4, 2, 1. And the next step, the I and J values are again incremented and decremented respectively. So now the I value becomes 2 and the J value becomes 3. Okay, so what are the new values? So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the values at I and J were swapped. Now, in the next step, when the I value and J value are incremented, so what's going to happen? So the I was 2, it becomes 3 and J was 3, it becomes 2. What happened here? So we had already reversed the array, we had already got the array. So and the I value became greater than J. So this also now there is no point in swapping again. So this is the stopping point. Whenever the I value crosses the J, that is when I becomes greater than or equal to J, we have to stop. we have to stop the process of swapping. So this is the approach we can follow to reverse the array in place. So the question already said that we need to reverse the array in place, which means we shouldn't create a new array but change the existing array. So let's dive into the code now. So I've already created a Java file, so let me open it. So here let me declare the array, so int arr, and now let me create an array. So let me take the same array 3, 4, 5, 6. So okay, so now let me call the function reverse, and arr is passed. Okay, so now I can call the function static. So previously in the question we had seen that the return type of the function is void, but how will we print the array? So let me say void reverse, and it will be having an input of an array. So here, as we were said, we shouldn't create any new array, that's why the return type is void. And here whenever this reverse method is called, so this array itself is reversed. So that means, so in Java we have the Java memory allocation concept. Also in that, this is the array created and this is assigned to a reference variable. So reference variable in Java is like an address, or it points towards where the actual array is. It's not the actual array, but it actually points where the array is. So the actual array or the objects are stored in the heap memory in Java, whereas the reference variable are stored in the stack memory. So this can be learned in the Java memory management concept. So here we are going to use the reference variable, which is arr, to reverse that array. So whenever we call the reference variable, so this array is going to be reversed. So that's why we don't need any new array, or the array itself is getting modified. So whenever we call or print the array after calling this function, and if we print it, we would have got the reverse of array. So that is 654321 would be printed. So let us now write the logic for the reverse of array. So what was the condition? While I is less than or equal to j. So what are I and j? So let me declare them first. So int I equals, it is the first index, which is 0. It is the 0 index. So it was the index of the first element. And j is the index of last element, which is array.length minus 1. So now while this I is less than or equal to j, so equal to, because at the same position it can be equal, so there is no point in swapping with the same value, right? So equal to, and whenever it crosses, then we have to stop. So now we can do the swapping. So swapping using temporary variable. So here let me create the temporary variable to store the value at the index I. Now I'm going to update this value at I with the value at j, and then assign the value at j the value of the temp. So this is the basic swapping using a temporary variable, which we are just using to store one of the values. And after swapping, we can increment the I and decrement the j. That's it. The swapping is done. And once the condition breaks, the swapping stops and we would have got the reverse array. So now let's print the array. So how do we print? For loop int. So let the value be a. So I'm directly iterating through the values. So arr, and I will print the values itself. So this is a for loop, and here is another way of iterating through an array, where I'm directly calling the variable inside the array. So now let's run the code and check if it is working or not. So firstly compiling the file and now running it. So you can see we had got the reverse array 654321. So actually I can remove this ln and place this. So now we will get the array inside in a straight line. So that's it. We had got the reverse of the array. And you can see here that I have actually called the same array which we created. So that means the existing array was modified. So that's it for this video. Do follow the 100 Days of Coding Challenge by VCode. Thank you for watching.